going on, everyone? I hope you're having a great hunting season. So before we dive into this video, I have a couple things to touch on. The first is that I am over 18 now. My birthday is August 10th, 2006, and I turned 18 on August 10th, 2024. The reason I'm saying this is because we've had some problems with YouTube restrictions in the past, and this is just a reminder for YouTube that I am a legal adult and I am 18. But without further ado, we're going to dive right into this one, so I hope you all enjoy. Alright, well here we are, headed back to the same glassing on knob we were at last night. And the plan is to glass and try to locate those 3 bucks or a couple does or whatever deer are down in there, and then sneak down there, cross that thick stuff, cross the river, and go put a stalk on one. We got close last night. We got 45 yards from that doe and about 60 yards from that buck, so we just need to be able to get in there a little quicker. So should be a good hunt. Looking forward to it. We're gonna head in there. Sitting up here for probably like 45 minutes to an hour. I haven't glassed too much, but I'm gonna start to now. Glass real quick and then we'll shoot and see what we can pick up. I was glassing right down here to the bottom, probably like 100 yards, and I picked up that cow moose bed. She's facing me, and I'm a little surprised she hasn't pinned onto me, but she's just better right there. Well, it is 5:40, 0 deer still, 1 moose. I think there's a couple factors going into why we haven't seen any deer yet. The first is that it's a sunny day. Yesterday was a cloudy day, and I just checked back on the footage. That moose stepped out at 4:15, and then the first deer I saw, which was that doe down there, was out at 5:15. The bucks were out there shortly after at about 5:30. And so that was on a cloudy day when they didn't have the sun and they felt like they could get up out of their bed because it was cooling down a lot sooner. On a day like today where it's sunny, these deer are going to be much more likely to stay in their bed for longer because that sun, once it goes down, once it starts to get more cool, that's when they want to come out. But they don't have to wait for that sun to go down on a cloudy day. So expecting these bucks to get up sometime soon. The other thing we're dealing with is the thermals, and right now the day winds are still pulling this way, right? We've had a south wind all day, and that's what it's doing. Towards dark, it will switch, and the thermals will start pulling the opposite way, and that's what happened last night when we got in there with those does. The reason those does started busting was because our thermals switched, and our thermals was blowing the other way, right? And so to kill one of these deer, we got to be able to get down there and put a stalk and get a shot before the thermals switched. Well, last night, the thermals switched right around like 6:45, 7, right? And so it's 5:40 right now. So we're looking at like an hour, right? So that's an hour to spot deer, get down there, put a stalk, and get a shot, which is not a lot of time. So if it does get super late, you know, and it's like 6:30, I'll be more hesitant to want to go down there because I'll know that my wind will probably switch and it's going to blow out this property. And there's already been I've already put a lot of pressure in here. I've hunted this place for 5 days straight now, and that does have an effect on the deer, you know. I refound those bucks. The problem is this camera, it doesn't do well in low light conditions, so I got a couple clips of them, but it wasn't great. The doe ended up feeding all the way over, and she actually came to where that big tree is that we first spotted the buck at on the stalk last night at. Probably came 200 yards closer. Hard to say if I should have put a stalk on her. Probably it's a good thing I didn't because she was moving so much. And then those other bucks, I'm thinking what's happening is the reason they came back this far last night was because I had been putting pressure on them from the other side, so they felt like they had to get away from that pressure, so they moved back for the day, right? Then the next day they were back here. Then once they didn't get disturbed here, they felt safe to move back to that far end, which is technically the front end, because it's easier to access, and that's where most hunters access it from. And so that's why they were back there, and I saw them, and then I saw them working back this way, so they probably could have, or maybe even walked by that stand, I'm not sure. So it's a lot to think on, it's a lot to ponder. So we'll see y'all in the morning. I'll update you then. But it's been a great hunt. Saw some deer. It's been a fun one, so we'll see you then. Alrighty, well, we are back and we are headed in towards that same glassing spot we've been to the last 2 nights. Today is our 5th day of this hunt. Last night those deer came out just a little too late, so tonight I'm hoping they come out a little sooner. And also I decided even if they come out late, I'm gonna just go for it and hustle down there. So we should get a stalk on something provided they come out. But it should be a good hunt, so we're gonna hike the 2 miles in and see what we can see. Alright, well, I'm all set up. It is 4:12 p.m. We got in here a little earlier than we did yesterday, which is good. Contrary to yesterday, we have a lot more cloud cover. And so I'm hoping that that's going to make these deer move quicker. My kind of idea was the reason they were moving later last night was because we had no clouds and it was sunny. So we're going to see. We're going to see if it turns out that way today. But I'm going to start glassing and watching. As soon as something pops out, we'll put a stalk on it. Feeling good about it. Just takes one. So here we go. Oh, there they are. Alright, well there's those moose. They kind of just walked out on our side of the river, probably 150 yards out there. And that's definitely a cow and that yearling calf. It's the 3rd day we've seen them. The first day they were on the other side of the river, then yesterday they were bedded down a little closer, and now they're out kind of in between towards that bank. No deer yet, but we're gonna keep watching. It's about 5:30, so I'm hoping that some deer will start to move, and if they do, we'll be in a position to put a stalk on them. The other thing is, oftentimes when you're on a glassing spot like this, especially when you're closer range like I am, from the vantage point you have, you may not be able to see everything. When I first saw them, they were right here, but they've walked this way, and I can't see them anymore from that other spot. But I just moved 10 yards this way, and now I can see them again. And so that's something to keep in mind as I'm looking down here, is to keep moving to areas where I can see behind all these trees and stuff, because just because I haven't seen a deer yet does not mean that they're not down there, and it's just about getting to the right spot to where you're going to be able to pick them up. It is time to get a move on it. Just picked up the first deer, zooming in on it now. It's all the way back there towards the stand, so we gotta hustle. I would assume it's those same 3 bucks though. I'm gonna get gear set, I'm gonna grab the bow, and then I'm gonna run down there. And it's far enough to where I could probably hustle all the way to across the river and then just get pretty far down there. And if it is those 3 bucks, every time that I saw them down there, they would kind of just stay right in that area. Oh, he's coming out, let's see. So I feel like we got some time, you know, because I think that they're gonna stay in that area and our wind's still good. It is 5:50, so it's late, we got like an hour and 40 minutes till last shot. So we're gonna have to just get down there quick. I want to wait to see what this thing is, but we need to hustle. So I think what I might do is I might just, yeah, okay, so there it is. Yep, there's the buck. So he's the buck. Let's see, I need him to turn his head. Yep, okay. So that's the, that almost looks like a new buck. Is that a bigger buck? It's not like it matters, but I just, it's just a little far for these binos. Okay, yeah, that's still that same buck. So he's in velvet still, and he's crossing left to right, coming towards us. I think we're all set. This GoPro should be good. And I don't think we're gonna wait, so I think we're gonna just go. Let's go. All right, so we're dropping down. Again, in this type of situation, it's just kind of a deal of like, we gotta get there as soon as possible, because we're gonna lose light real quick. I'm gonna save some battery because we're gonna need it for the stock. And let's get down there. We came down from up there, and we're gonna get across and cross here. River. I dropped all my stuff, and I've just got the bow, binoculars, and GoPro now. It's right at 6 o'clock, so that means we get an hour and a half till last shot. Really like an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm feeling good about this. I'm going barefoot. It should be super quiet. The wind's still perfect, pulling from the south. That buck last I saw was about 200 yards up here, and he was coming down towards me. So we're gonna just sneak up here, take it real slow. We got time, and hope we can find him. So here's the trail up. We're gonna peek over right up here. I'm gonna get stuff ready before I peek over. Last night that doe was feeding right at this pine, so realistically I probably should have went for it, but I didn't. That buck was right up here. I just want to make sure that it's all clear before I go up there. Alright, coast is clear, so I'm gonna get to this other side and then work the hawthorns up so that way I've got cover. It's really important on stalks like this, especially with wary whitetails, to go slow and to have cover. If you got those two things, you're in a good position. Alright. Okay, there he is right there, hold on. There they are. Alright, the bucks are right there. They don't see me. I was just talking about going slow, and it's a good thing I crept up here quietly. Alright, they're feeding this way, so I gotta get in position now. I'm gonna belly crawl back around and get over here so I can get down without them seeing me. This is about to happen. Alright, we're going up again. Now I've got some more cover, so I'm gonna just sneak through here. Bucks are about 200 yards up there. I'm just gonna get to these hawthorns. Dang it, dang it, dang it. That is not good. There's a doe right there I didn't see. She's pinned on me right there. That might be the end of that. Beginner mistake, such a beginner mistake. Just going too fast to the front and a deer that I didn't see. I don't know if she's gonna blow those other bucks out, but I'm gonna get up here to where I got some cover. snuck up to that bank right there, and I just made the mistake of not going slow enough right when I peeked over because there was a doe right there that I hadn't seen from a glassing spot. So she pinned onto me and jumped back, and then I thought that she was gone, so I still kept going too fast. And then I bumped her again with a fawn, and they blew and ran back right to where those bucks were. So I'm gonna sneak up and belly crawl to this tree and then just try to glass and see what those deer are doing. I'm just making dumb mistakes because I'm getting too excited, so it's a good lesson. I need to just slow down and take things slower, but it's tough, you know, especially when you put all the work in to get here and then it's like you mess up, but I'm gonna just sneak up. I snuck up to about where that doe was when they blew. And those bucks, when I spotted them back there, were like 20, 25 yards up here. My guess is that when those does blew, they took the bucks with them. And I don't think they went far. I think they probably just went back towards like where the stand is. So my plan is to just get in with these other hawthorns and then just take it crazy slow while they're there. So that's gonna do it for the stalk. I mean, I don't know, there's not much to say. Pretty much I came down, spotted those bucks right where they were supposed to be, and then popped them on that bank and spooked that doe, and she took them away. And yeah, it's tough. But either way, it's been a really fun 5 days. So, learned a lot, challenged myself. Beautiful day to end it on. Beautiful scenery.